Hello, a warm welcome to Dilip Oaks Academy's introductory video on maths section of SAT. In this video, we will have an overview of maths section of SAT. In the mathematics section, there are two divisions. First, where the use of calculator is not allowed, and second, where the use of calculator is allowed. When the use of calculator is not allowed, you will attempt 15 questions of multiple choice. That is, a question is followed by 4 options, of which exactly one is correct, and 5 questions of grid-in type. That is, a question is not followed by any of the options, but you will write your answer in the OMR sheet provided. That is, totally you will answer 20 questions without the help of calculator in a time span of 25 minutes. In the next section, where use of calculator is allowed, you will attempt 30 questions of the multiple choice type and 8 questions of grid-in type. That is, in all you will attempt 38 questions in a time span of 55 minutes. Now, what is the syllabus of math section of SAT? The questions asked in the math section of SAT are based on the topics that we have studied up to class 12. Broadly, the knowledge is tested on the basis of heart of algebra, followed by problem solving and data analysis, followed by passport to advanced math, and additional topics in math including geometry and trigonometry, which are going to be relevant to your undergraduate degree in USA. If you talk about heart of algebra, the knowledge will be tested related to linear equations in one variable, absolute value, inequalities, and graphing of inequalities. If you ask me about problem solving and data analysis, then here they expect the student to be capable to deal with the one-way table, two-way table, making use of ratios and percentages. And under passport to advanced math, of course, your knowledge will be tested related to quadratics, exponentials, radicals, and inequalities. Now, let us look at two types of questions which are asked in SAT. So the first type of question I am going to discuss with you is a multiple choice. That is, a question, as you can see, is followed by 4 options, of which only one is correct. As you can see on the screen, to the left side there is a diagram and there is a question asked. On the right side there is a solution. We will discuss the solution after we read the question, after we understand the question. So question is asking you to find the measure of an angle A, where there are two lines M and N which are given to be parallel to each other. Now here is a solution diagram. As you can see, there is an angle 50 degrees which is above line M. There is an angle 30 degrees which is below line N. Can you observe there are two parts of the diagram? Now, obviously what I am going to do is I am going to draw one more line which is parallel to existing both the lines. Now why? The reason is there are two parts of the diagram, and as you can make out, to connect these two parts of the diagram, I will make this construction. Okay. So as I draw this third line, which is visible to you in blue color, and it is parallel to M and N, you can make out that angle 50 degrees as given by them is same as this angle, which is a corresponding angle, and hence each one of them will be 50 degrees. Similarly, the 30 degree angle which is given by them is vertically opposite to this angle, and hence both of them will be measuring 30 degrees each. Now, the next angle you must have guessed by now, which is exactly below 50 degrees on the other side of blue line, is also going to be 30 degrees, being a pair of alternate angles, and therefore we have got that measure of an angle A is equal to 50 degrees plus 30 degrees, that is equal to 80 degrees, which is option B. So now from this problem, what is the key takeaway? Key takeaway is that make a construction to the given geometric figure in order to connect two parts of the given figure. Okay. So this is the first type of question where a question is followed by 4 options, of which only one is correct. Now let us look at the next type of question where you can see there is a question which is not followed by any of the options, but there are some grids that you are going to fill in. So let us read the question and then fill in the grid. So question says an operator can type the minimum of 20 pages and the maximum of 30 pages in 1 hour's time. If 180 pages are given to that operator, then those pages can be typed in how much time? And you see clearly an instruction is given that enter your answer in minutes. As you can see, there is some change of unit here because the data is given in terms of hours, but the expected answer is in minutes. Okay, we will look at that part later on. So first of all, since an operator can type the minimum of 20 pages, in order to type 180 pages, he will require 180 upon 20, that is equal to 9 hours. On the other hand, if that operator types the maximum of 30 pages per hour, then to type 180 pages, that operator will require 180 upon 30, which is 6 hours. So that means broadly we have solved this problem, indicating that that operator will require the minimum of 6 hours and the maximum of 9 hours to complete this job. But there are few technicalities that I must take care of. What is that? They have clearly said enter your answer in minutes. Now as we know, 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Therefore 6 hours is equal to 360 and 9 hours is equal to 540. Hence, as you can read on screen, the conclusion is that operator will require the minimum of 360 minutes and the maximum of 540 minutes. As clearly mentioned in the instruction manual of SAT, if there are multiple answers possible to the grid-in type of question, then you may enter any of the answers which is falling in that range. Therefore, as you can see, I have written on the screen, any answer between 360 and 540 will be treated as the correct answer. Now, let us look at some formalities which are not less important in order to get the full score. What are they? Suppose now between 360 and 540, I choose the number 435 to be entered in this grid. Then I will write 435 on top of the table, and please note what I write on top of the table is not going to decide my score. The way I'm going to fill in the circles, the way I'm going to darken the circles is going to decide my score for this particular response. So below 4, I will have to darken the circle that has 4 in it. Similarly, below 3, we will darken the circle which has 3 in it, and below 5, we will darken the circle which has 5 in it. So this is the correct response that will fetch me the full score for this particular question. Thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you soon in the classroom. Thank you.